Do you ever feel like you're not stuck in a place, but in a version of yourself? Not in a job, not in an office, but in your own thoughts that loop endlessly? You seem to be moving, but it's just a closed circuit. Home, work, procrastination, resentment of life. And somewhere deep inside, you're asking, is this really what I'm here for? If that sounds familiar, don't turn this video off. Because today, you're not just going to hear inspiration. You'll get a practice, tested not by a coach, but by life, that can change your direction as soon as tomorrow morning. This isn't a success story, it's a wake-up call. And you won't feel the shift if you watch it later or just listen passively. You have to stay until the end. In this video, I'll show you how working for someone else can become your springboard to freedom, not just financial, but inner freedom. Because unless you change who you are, nothing around you will change. That's not a philosophy, that's a formula. You can show up on time, hit every deadline, be the reliable one at work, and still go home every night with a quiet ache in your chest, wondering why you feel stuck, not in your job, but in yourself. You check all the boxes, yet you know deep down you're not getting any closer to the life you want. You're just circling the same parking lot, hoping that one day a door will open. That's the paradox of modern work. We do more, but become less. We confuse motion with progress, productivity with purpose. I used to live like that, broke, in debt, busy but directionless. It felt like my life didn't even belong to me. Then one day, my mentor told me, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I didn't get it at first, but then it hit me. Most people work for their job. They don't work through it. They give away 8, 10, 12 hours a day and leave themselves with leftovers. But here's the shift. Your job isn't the enemy of growth. It's the mirror. It doesn't block your evolution. It reveals whether you're actually evolving. You can flip burgers, answer emails, lead meetings, or stock shelves, and still grow into someone the world can't ignore. It's not about what you do. It's about who you're becoming while doing it. If you treat your days like something to survive, you shrink. If you treat them like training grounds, you grow. Discipline, confidence, grit, clarity. Your 9-to-5 isn't a prison unless you see it that way. It can be a gym if you choose to use it. But if you keep waiting for the perfect moment to work on yourself, you'll be in the same place a year from now, only more tired, more bitter. Change doesn't wait for your next raise. It doesn't care about your job title or your manager's approval. Change shows up when you do. And here's what I've learned. The people who wait for the right opportunity never start. But the people who start, even with zero resources, become the opportunity. So ask yourself, are you just getting through your day? Or are you between surviving and launching? There's a quiet revolution that starts the moment you stop asking, what am I getting out of this job? And instead ask, what am I becoming through it? That one shift changed everything for me. I stopped seeing work as a list of tasks and started seeing it as a lab for personal development. Every meeting became a chance to improve communication. Every tough coworker, a test of patience. Every deadline, a weight to build discipline. My paycheck didn't change overnight, but I did. And when I did, the world noticed. One day I was asked to lead a short huddle. I wasn't the best speaker, and it wasn't part of my job description. But I said yes. Why? Because I wasn't working for the company anymore. I was working for my future self. That one yes opened new doors. I was invited to more meetings, to lead trainings, to share ideas. Not because I was the smartest person in the room, but because I had started building myself while others were waiting. And that's the truth nobody tells you. You don't grow because you get promoted. You get promoted because you grow. Too many people say, I'll start improving when I run my own business, get a raise, or have more time. No, growth isn't a reward, it's a prerequisite. If you're not using what you have now, you won't use what comes later. Because it's not about the opportunity, it's about the operator, about you. At some point, I stopped calling it work. I started calling it compound interest. If I stayed calm during conflict, that was a deposit into my resilience bank. If I helped a teammate, that went into my leadership account. If I read one page before bed, it went into my mindset vault, and those deposits, they grow, they multiply, They pay interest, not in cash but in character, and character opens every door. I remember a guy I used to work with, let's call him Tom. Tom hated his job. Every day, same routine, clock in, complain, check out. One day I asked him, "Are you doing anything here for yourself? Reading, practicing a skill?" He looked at me and said, "Why would I? This job isn't going anywhere." And that was the reason he wasn't going anywhere. People who grow don't wait for permission. They train where they are. And eventually, the world moves for them. There's a second paycheck you can start earning today. It's not on your payslip. It's not taxed. No one else sees it, but it grows daily. It's called growth income. Every time you control your reaction, focus deeply, help someone without being asked, you're earning it. And the market notices maturity. Promotions and new opportunities go to people who've already grown inside. But you don't do it for applause. You do it because it's who you're becoming. Try this tomorrow. See your work as a transformation boot camp. A tough conversation becomes a chance to grow empathy. A deadline becomes a training ground for focus. A difficult coworker becomes a mirror for your emotional strength. This is not fluff. This is freedom engineering. And the tools are already in your hands. Most people don't leave their jobs because they're too hard. They leave because they feel meaningless. But meaning is your job. If you wait for it from the outside, you'll just keep scrolling. But if you build it from within, even a small job can become your launchpad. One of my students once said, "I work a desk job, but every day I read 5 pages, practice public speaking, help new hires." A year later, he became a coach. Not because of experience, but because he became the experience. That's the law. You don't get rewarded for time, you get rewarded for transformation. And the best part? You can start today. No need to quit. No need to wait. No need to ask permission. Here's the truth. Success isn't a paycheck. It's a personality upgrade. You don't get it, you become it. Every small decision, every moment either builds your identity or breaks it. It's not about your business card title. It's about what you believe when no one's watching. One day I wrote in my journal, "I am an investor. Every choice I make is an investment in my future self." From that moment, everything changed. If I handled conflict with grace, that was a deposit. If I pushed through resistance and focused, another deposit. If I chose growth over distraction, that was interest. And those deposits grow quietly, daily, and one day they break through. At first, nobody notices, but one day they do. And they say, "You've changed." And you'll know they're right, because you didn't just change, you evolved. So let me ask, do you have rituals or just routines? Do you run your day or does your day run you? You don't burn out from hard work, you burn out from lack of meaning, but meaning isn't given, it's built. I started waking up with one question: what can I do today to be better than yesterday? If the answer was nothing, the day felt wasted, not from guilt, but from purpose. Success isn't a moment, it's a system. And systems run on habits, not hype. Now I promised you a practice, not a fluffy journaling trick, not think positive, but something real. Here are 5 questions, 5 inner levers. Answer them honestly, and then do something with your answers. 1. To what extent do I work on myself every day, no matter how tired, busy, or unmotivated I feel? 2. Am I using my current job to train my mind, my skills, and my character? Or am I just getting through it? 3. How clearly do I see the person I want to become in 5 years? Not just what I want to have, but who I want to be. 4. How well do my current daily habits match that future identity? 5. To what extent am I taking full responsibility for my growth and letting go of excuses, blame, and stories? If your answers weren't 10 out of 10, that's not failure. That's data, and data is power. Once you know where you are, you can go anywhere. Greatest investment, and that investment is compounding right now. Don't wait for change. Be the change. Don't wait for permission. Become someone who doesn't need it. Don't wait for the door. Build the door. Then walk through it. And if this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a like. Not for the algorithm, but to mark the moment you decided to grow. Drop a comment, even just one word. That one moment of reflection might spark someone else's shift. And if you want more tools like this, real ones, not fluff, subscribe. Not for me, for you. Because the next video might not just inspire you, it might redirect your life.